Hello everybody and welcome to IELTS Learning Tips. And at the moment we're having a bit of a speaking fest in these videos, but this is the last of the videos I'll be doing at the moment for speaking, and I've called it How to Ace the Speaking Exam. And that's because I want to review the things that you need to be able to do and the things that you should be practicing all the time when you're doing your speaking with other people. I hope I've made that clear, that in order to be really good at the speaking, you do need to speak to other people regularly and about a wide range of topics. So let me remind you of two things. Firstly, please start your speaking practice at the beginning of your preparation. Do not leave it to the week before or 2 weeks before. It is simply too late. All of that vocabulary and stuff needs to go into your memory, and you need to repeat things a lot and practice things a lot for that to happen. The second thing I want to remind you about is that the best way, and in my opinion, the only way to improve your speaking is to speak. And that means speaking to other people. Now, these do not have to be teachers. I get people sending me messages all the time saying, please, I need to speak to you because you're a native speaker. It doesn't have to be a native speaker. It's just the opportunity to speak to other people. Obviously, it's better if you are speaking to people who are around the same level or higher than you, because that's going to help you more to improve. But the key thing is the opportunity to speak to other people. The speaking exam doesn't just test chatting, and I mentioned in another video about a student of mine that had been told by the examiner, this is not just a chat. It looks at different aspects of speaking. Now, as it was set up primarily for people in work and people at university, then it tests the things that you need to do there. So it tests simple conversation in everyday topics, which is mostly what part one consists of. It also tests your ability to present something on a particular topic. Now, if you're at university, you will have to do presentations to your tutorial group, to other students, to other lecturers. If you're in work, you may also be asked to do presentations, and you will be asked to give your opinion and give reports and things in meetings. So the part two tests your ability to be able to do those kinds of things just in a small way, because obviously you've only got 2 minutes and a meeting may last 1 or 2 hours. But it's just an idea that you are able to do these things to an extent. And then obviously at university and in your job, you will be learning to do it better and for a longer period. And the third thing that's being discussed is your ability to discuss a topic and give a more extended opinion or a more extended account of that topic. And that's mostly what part three consists of. And so in order to do that, you need to have A, a lot of practice, and B, some really good language, especially if you're looking for band 7 and above, because that will need some very sophisticated delivery on your part. So the examiner will be looking at your ability to communicate, your fluency, also your spontaneity, your level of vocabulary, your grammar, and also your pronunciation. So I want to just say a couple of things about each of those. So the exam is about communication. How good a communicator are you? And if your answers are sensible and measured and of the right length, then you will be put down as a good communicator, and that will get you a reasonably good score. It's not a monologue. If you're asked a question, the examiner does not expect you to keep going answering that question. It's a two-way process. You must allow the examiner to ask their questions. If you spend a lot of time hesitating before you answer, that is a lack of fluency. So your answers need to come in a timely fashion. You need to be, that's also spontaneity. So you need to be able to answer fairly quickly, because I'm sure you've all been in a situation where you've asked somebody a question and there was a silence and you don't know what to think. Do they not know the answer? Do they not want to answer? Did they not understand my question? And these things will be going around in the examiner's mind as well. If you spend a long time before you answer, they'll be thinking, is this a problem of understanding? They haven't understood the question. Or is this a problem of nerves? Or is this a problem of they just don't have the right vocabulary and grammar to make an answer? So it's important not to put those ideas into the examiner's head. Therefore, you want to be spontaneous with your answers. And there are things you can do if you need a little bit of thinking time. You can go, or, oh, I hadn't thought about that before, or something like that to give you some thinking time. But whatever you do, if you spend a lot of time thinking and not answering, that causes problems. Vocabulary. If you want band 7 or 8, you need a very wide range of vocabulary, and you need to be able to use it accurately and collocate it well, and be able to use it flexibly as well. So move from adjective to adverb, or from noun to adjective, or from verb to noun. That all shows a flexibility and a width in your vocabulary. And finally, grammar. There are two things with grammar. One is accuracy. That means don't make grammar mistakes. And the other is range. That means how advanced is your grammar? How many different ways can you say the same thing using different grammatical structures? And all of these add levels of sophistication to your language. And if you're able to use a wide range of different types of structure, then you will get a high band. If you're able to do that with a minimum number of errors, then you will get a high band. The examiner won't be looking for 100% accuracy. If you make the odd mistake, that's tolerable. But if you make too many mistakes, obviously, then your language level will be lower and your band will be lower. And finally, pronunciation. Firstly, anything in your pronunciation which stops the examiner from understanding what you're saying is serious. Therefore, if there is anything in your pronunciation that you're concerned about, you need to practice pronunciation. Other than that, if your accent is very heavy and the examiner needs to strain, they may mark you down for pronunciation. This doesn't mean you don't have to have an accent. They are not looking for you to speak the way I'm speaking now. Obviously, I'm a native speaker, so I don't have pronunciation problems. They're not looking for perfect pronunciation. What they're looking for is for an accent which doesn't impede the understanding, which doesn't stop the examiner picking up everything you say. But if there are certain aspects of your pronunciation which cause a problem, and the examiner either can't understand or has to strain to work it out, then you will get marked down for pronunciation. So all of those things need to be practiced. And as I mentioned in my last video, the feedback on that sort of thing does not always have to come from a teacher. It will come from people you're practicing with. If they don't understand you, you need to understand why they don't understand you and correct that aspect of your speaking. So that's how you can ace the speaking. Practice, 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 and keep pushing your language, keep expanding your language, and then when you've learned new structures and vocabulary, use them as soon as you can, because by using them, you will remember them. Okay, if you want more of this, please join my Facebook group, sorry. I would love to see all of you in my Facebook group. We do live sessions and other things, and there may be an opportunity for you to find people who you can practice speaking with, so that when you get to your exam, you will ace the speaking exam. So I hope some of that was useful. I hope all of it was useful. And this is the last one on speaking for a while, and we'll move on to something else next time. And in the meantime, keep practicing your speaking, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.